Hello everyone, Z Early here, bringing you a new PTS video, and this time I'm going to be going over on the new items and how they will, some of the new items and how they will work with Arachne, and we'll focus on two items in particular, Serrated Edge and Berserker Shield, and in turn this will be basically what I'm thinking would be a good build guide for Arachne in the future, in the next season patch. So, are the new items specifically? The first one, which I'm sure everyone saw, they would think, oh, this is going to be great on basic attack assassins, is Serrated Edge. It has 30 physical power, 10% physical lifesteal, 20% physical penetration, and 10% movement speed. The passive is after firing an ability, if all three of your non-ultimate abilities are on cooldown, you gain 40 basic attack power and 10% physical lifesteal while they're on cooldown. So how this works is basically your basic attacks will hit more if all your abilities are on, your 1 through 3 are on cooldown. As you can see though, if you don't have it, level 1 is not going to work because you only have one ability. You need to put points into your first 3 abilities. Again, most of the time, you're not going to be noticing that, but I just wanted to show that off as well. So right now, as you can see on the left, my basic attack damage is 112, and I'm hitting 35, 70, 70. 35, 70, 70 against him. For my 3-hit chain. If my things are on cooldown though, 47, 95, 95. As you can see, that's a pretty decent increase. I'm getting basically 25 extra physical power. On my last 2 hits, I'm getting 25 extra physical power, 25 extra damage. On my other one, I'm getting, about 12 extra. So it's hard to say an exact percentage with that, but you could also look at the bottom left. As you can see here, normally I'm gonna have 112 basic attack. I now have 152 basic attack. So right now my basic attack damage is going considerably higher when I have all three of my 3 abilities down. Now, while that is great and all, not every god can use this effectively. A lot of gods don't dump the whole kit on their whole kit when they go in, and if they do, it's usually ability-based gods, and the gods are usually dead afterwards, or they don't use their movement because they want to escape afterwards a lot. But certain gods, like I'm thinking, 4 gods in particular work really, assassins at least, work really well with this. Arachne, for sure, Kali, Bakasura, and Mercury. Mercury late game can see this pretty well. Warriors, the only one I'm going to see using this more often is probably Erlang Shen. He's more basic attack focus, and he dumps his whole kit, uses all 3 of his abilities at the start usually of a fight. Erlang would be very good with this item as well. But looking at just Arachne right now, because that's what I just want to focus, I think Arachne is the best god that does this. Because all those other gods, they might save their movement to get out or something. Like Bakasura might not go in with his leap, he'll save his leap to get out. Kali might not go in with her leap, she'll save her leap to get out. She might not need the stun. Things like that. Oops. But Arachne though, Arachne always uses her 1 through 3 whenever she engages. She starts with that, and then she bops those 2, and she goes in. As you can see, and I'm hitting more on this guy because this person has more protections than the other person. And right now, if you don't build any cooldown, you have a long period of that Serrated Edge boost. you have about 10 seconds of 40 extra physical power, not physical, basic attack power, and another 10% movements, 10% lifesteal. So you're getting 20% lifesteal for 10 seconds. Pretty good whenever you're going in and you're fighting and boxing a person. That lifesteal really does help a lot, as well as the damage of just your basic attack. And 10 seconds is a long time to have that. Now another big thing with this is actually phoenixes and towers. Let me get some minions in there. Throw some minions in. So right now, without using this, I'm just doing 20, 24, 48, 48. If I use, let's do this again, 24, 48. If I use all three of my abilities, I'm now hitting 32, 65, 65. And this is with no other items. You just shred towers quite well when you activate your skills just for that, because you're really focusing, your basic attacks are doing more damage against these towers too. That's what the basic attack buff affects your tower damage and your phoenix damage and your other objective damage like Gold Fury and Fire Giant and stuff. You can solo those as Arachne really well once you get mid to late game when you get a few items on things. Just because of Serrated Edge. A lot of times you will want to drop your 3 when you do a tower. You could throw it to any minions that are there, or throw it at the gods that are there, just to get that down and to distract them and get a few more pop shots at the tower. Your 2 gives you, for just 3 attacks, more attack speed, and I usually use my 2 anytime I'm trying to take a tower, because I want to just get a few 3 extra fast attacks in. And your 1 you don't usually use when you're fighting a tower, but you can quickly hit a minion to heal yourself. Or, even if there's no minions and you're full health, pop it with your other 2 abilities, and then you will have a lot better tower destruction ability. Let's see if I can... I'll give you an example of what you could buy end the game, what it could look like. I'm going to be going a build I kind of like this. But I'll go into more details on this build now. So we're going to just say this is a Phoenix. And we're going to throw some minions in. Oop, I wasn't hitting some of them. So yeah, look at that. You can take a tower pretty fast like that. Let me go. Doesn't give the full Phoenix. So let me just go to a tower. Throw some in. Tier 2, 72, 44, 44. With that, 82, 64, 64. Are there 2? Were there 2 there? I feel like there were 2 there. Oh well. Let me get the Phoenix back. You do a pretty sizable amount of damage to that tower with Serrated Edge up, because of you're able to shred so much faster and everything. You're not Hunter fast. You're very close to Hunter fast. And Arachne never really had the best time shredding towers and phoenixes, but with this you can, and you get a lot better stuff with it. Anyway, let me get rid of these items and I'll go into each of these items in a bit. The other item I like a lot on her, at least I'm just testing, is Berserker Shield. The new Berserker Shield. 40 physical power, 30 physical protection, 20% attack speed, 10% physical penetration. When you drop below 40% HP, you become Berserk for 5 seconds, gaining 20 physical power and 20% attack speed. So, With just this, it's very good because Arachne usually is going to get a little low when she's diving, especially late game. The people are going to turn on her, they're going to try to kill her, she's going to get low. She's going to then get more power to kill whatever person she's fighting with the attack speed 2. Combine that with Serrated Edge, and she's going to be even having double the lifesteal while she's having that on. It's 20% lifesteal at low health, plus her 1 healing her a bit, especially if the 1 still has a tick or 2 going after you get below 40%. Most of the time, though, it's just going to be that lifesteal you have. But with those 2 items, you basically have a plot when you're below 40% health, and you have your passive activated, and the Serrated Edge's passive activated, you're going to be getting an extra 40% basic attack, an extra 10% physical lifesteal, an extra 20 physical power, and an extra 20% attack speed, which is very nice. Let's see if we can get a good example of how much it looks like number-wise as that's going on. Let's go to Gold Fury. So right now, let's see, is the Gold Fury okay, the Gold Fury does not have the new thing, that's good. So right now I'm hitting 66, 32, 36, oh god, what? I'm hitting that much. I'm gonna let them hurt me a bit. Well, so now, with all that activated, I'm hitting quite a bit more, but that wasn't the best way to test. Then I get myself healed up a bit, and then get ready to get my stats a bit lower. $66, 32, 30, well, 70, 36. As I guess that's due to, anyway, let's see. That's what that's going. So I'm going to get this ready. Now with this, 177, 120, yeah, that. A lot higher. Combat. So yeah, you can see before I was doing, let's see, so with the buffs I was doing about, I hit with 234, yeah. It's a lot more. That's sorry. I feel stupid like doing that. Anyway, like I should be a bit better at that. Anyway, but yeah, you are hitting a lot more with that combination, especially when you get low. And it will show a lot versus a god and stuff. So let's just go for a god and do that. A bit easier. So I'm hitting 32, 55, so yeah, like that. 60, 112, 113. And that's also because they're doing more damage, my basics are doing more. Now, because remember, Arachne's passive also is giving you more basic attack power as they get low, which goes well with a Serrated Blade Edge and the Berserker Shield to give you a ton of basic attack power while the enemy is low, and you're low as well. When I did a practice game versus bots, the Berserker Shield definitely does very well when you are fighting group. Though there was one other item I had with it that I think goes so well with Berserker Shield. But I'll focus on that when as we're going to build right now. As for the build, you would start with Assassin's Blessing because it still works very well. Definitely good, especially with the more intense jungle camps. Definitely helps a lot. And I do like the jungle changes a lot. It definitely makes a lot more fun in the jungle. So you'll start with that, Tier 1 Golden Blade, a pot, and also Hand of the Gods. Because you'll still be doing the same web speed, web in front of blue, web back camp, then do speed, do back camp, gank mid, while solos the blue camp with your spiders. That's still the same. You can actually still hit level 2 without the blue. You still need the blue camp, but since everything's giving you a bit more EXP, you don't need the blue camp to hit level 2. So if the solo lane starts in lane, then goes the blue camp, as you do the speed back camp gank mid, you still should hit level 2 when you go to mid because of just leeching a few mid EXPs. You still should. Anyway, that's besides the point. Hand of the Gods let you get to mid very fast, so you could do that gank mid early and take all the enemies. Take the whole left side jungle or right. Yeah, take the whole left or right side jungle depending on what side you're stunning with. Anyway, so yeah, you would do Assassin's Blessing, then you'll do that to Golden Blade. Golden Blade's a lot better since the buff from last patch, giving you a lot. Basically helps Arachne's clear so much cheaper, great stats, great for everything she needs to do. After that, I used to go for Stone Cutting Sword as my second item to give me a little bit of penetration and stuff. But now, I would say Serrated Edge is the better one to start with. You have more movement speed, you have lifesteal, you have more penetration, and that passive is just so good to let Arachne just start snowballing, popping off really easily with Serrated Edge activated. And you can almost solo the Gold Fury with just Golden Blade and Serrated Edge, thanks to Serrated Edge's passive. It really gives you that extra bit of that extra lifesteal and that extra power. Great for soloing Gold Fury at like sub 10 minutes or so. So you get that second. Third, still Stone Cutting Sword. Still fantastic item on Arachne. Great stats. Great passive. Works just perfectly with her. Right now with Serrated Edge and Stone Cutting, you have 20% physical penetration plus 30 flat penetration as well. You are just going to shred anything in the game. Solo lane, guardians, tanky junglers. You are just going to shred them. And they cannot do anything to stop you. After that, it depends on if you're really far ahead, you could go straight to the 4th core item I feel on her, kin size. If it's more even and you want some more defensive, like I said before, I really like Berserker Shield on her because you are always going to get a little low when you're fighting as Arachne due to just how she works. Yes, your 1 does heal you a bunch, but especially when you get towards the later games and mids are going to be hitting you harder, people are going to be grouping a bit more, you might get to the low area pretty easily. This gives you that little extra protections versus the physical gods, so you can gank the hunters a bit easily and surprise the solos and the junglers a bit more. But then once they start boxing you, especially certain ones like Set, when they want to box you up and his ult's going off, you have Serrated Edge and this one helping you to get your stun off faster, to help get your more hits of your lifesteal to counter his healing as well. And then when your lifesteal, with the lifesteal of Serrated Edge combined with this, you might keep proccing Berserker Shield a few times. Because as you see, it refreshes anytime you go under. It doesn't say it on here, but they said in the patch notes, if you go above, if you heal above and go down, it refreshes the passive. So you have 5 seconds. At 4 seconds, you go above health, and then you go down again. You have another 5 seconds of this extra power, extra attack speed, just to make sure you're killing anything you want. Almost nothing can box you at this point, other than maybe some bursty mages, because right now, as you can see, you really don't have magical defense. That's the main issue right there. After that, I would say kin size. Kin size just goes so well with Arachne. Always has, always will. Great item, all that stuff. Last item I like to call the filler slot item. You can fill anything you need here. One thing I actually like a lot, if you don't need Toxic Blade for the anti-healing, if you either don't need that much anti-healing on your team, against the other team, all other guys got enough anti-healing and you feel like you don't really need it, my favorite option is Asai. Asai with Berserker Shield is a fantastic combination because you're going to be getting the extra 30% lifesteal whenever you go below 35% health, and then Berserker Shield you're getting the extra attack speed and power when you're below 40% health. So both of these are proccing at the same time. So as soon as you go below 35% health, you're gaining all your health back, and while still keeping Berserker Shield's passive of more power and attack speed during that whole time. So as you can see, let's go for Fire Giant would be the best way to do this, I think. Just to show an example of how this would work. Well, I should let him actually hurt me a bit more. Okay, I let him hurt me too much. But look at me, I'm just healing right back up. I basically was at 0 health and then healed it completely back up. Well, not completely, but I got a good chunk of it back up. Because anyway, I could just remove the Fire Giant buff. Probably not, so that's going to affect the numbers, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably going to affect the numbers. I'm going to see if there's any way I can just remove Fire Giant, but nope. Let me see if I can change team. No. That does not do it. Yeah, that's going to affect my numbers on that. Let me quickly return to lobby and come right back in. Just want to make sure I'm showing you the exact right numbers for this. But yeah, as you saw, Asai plus Berserker Shield plus Asai plus Berserker Shield plus Serrated Edge gave me a huge boost to my damage when they were all activated at once. What let me completely go from like 10 HP versus the Fire Giant. It got me right back to half almost instantly and killed him when he was still like above half to pretty much dead. Yeah, this was at like the 0 minute Fire Giant with full items, but you get the idea of that. I'll show you an example, and I won't kill. Well, actually, I'm done with this one. I'm done with some of the other stuff. I'll show the example of that. Stone cutting, serrated, golden. But let me just, because I also need to go over some of the other items I think work decently well. These 5 items start, I feel like, are still the core. These 4 especially are core for her. No matter what you're going to build on her, you always build these 4 items on her. After that, I grabbed Gladiator Shield instead of Berserker Shield. Whoops.
This will be killer.
Berserker Shield will work very well with this again as well. I like Asai because the combination of Asai and Berserker Shield just is so good at keeping you alive once you get to low health. Especially since Berserker Shield passive still will still stay procced when you're all at the lower health. I mean, when you're after you heal yourself back up. Let's see. Let's go with Neath. Let her hit. Get myself low. Come on, Neath. You could hurry it up. Okay, Berserker Shield's activated.
What's up, gamers?
And then I just deleted her instantly. And I got a huge power boost for that time. And for 10 seconds, Serrated Edge still stayed up. So right now, my basic attack power is 292. Once I have all of and I'm hitting 125, 140, 249, 249 for my basics when they're at full health.
Lie dormant.
With these activated, I'm hitting
You're mine now.
142, 283, 283. That is a substantially large increase on that. I'm getting almost 40 extra basic power on my third attack, and a decent amount on my second two hits, and a decent amount on my third. Just really, really good burst, and you're going to be able to shred and kill anything in the game with this. Other than Asai, Toxic Blade when you need to fight anti-healing, definitely good. If you just need more defensive, if you like really need to just be more defensive, any of the other situationals like in Seele or like versus Ao Kuang and Seele versus a more magical team, Runic Shield works well. Cadeus, not terrible, gives you more healing, which is never a bad thing. Gives you equal protections if you just need equal protections. Not a bad idea. Pure defensive, Mantle of Discord works pretty well. The Sledge, if you're going for a more tanky Arachne build instead of this, the Sledge would work really well. Like Berserker Shield, like if you want to throw the Sledge on and you didn't have like Golden Blade, like you were selling Golden Blade at the end for another defense more mix, that could work. Atalanta's Bow also can work over Asai. I just like Asai a bit because that the combination of Berserkers and that. But you do overcap on percent penetration with this. So if you were gonna go Atalanta's Bow, you probably wouldn't want Berserker Shield. You'll probably go a pure defensive item with that. So if you went Atalanta's Bow, I would say getting just a Mantle of Discord would work pretty well, just to be like, oh, I did the wrong cell. Let's see. Boop. This would work pretty well to give you just pure defensive stats if you just needed to be, if you weren't like totally popped off in the game and you just need to you need to be able to survive a little bit better and you need to be a little bit tankier, I would say go this way after you get the other 4 core items, because it's just good defensive options of that, and Atalanta's Bow, maxing out your percent penetration. Because with that, right now, my stats, with this build, I'm maxed out on percent pen, and I have 30 flat pen with this going on, so that's a lot of penetration, and you will be able to shred anything in the game. Otherwise, the build I like the most, I gotta go over here. With my build that I like a bit more myself, that and this, you have 30% 30% physical penetration, 15% 15 flat physical penetration, plus the 30 flat penetration you get in that. So you technically have 45 flat penetration with 40%, 30% physical penetration, plus 30% lifesteal, but with Serrated activated and Asai activated, that jumps up to 40% plus another, what was it, 30%? You have 70% lifesteal, so you're gonna be lifestealing through anything in the game right now, and that's why I like this one a bit more. But the other option, like I said, of Atalanta's Bow and Mantle of Discord is a good option for being a bit more defensive. Like if you have to go more defensive, go Mantle of Discord with Atalanta's Bow, because that passive of Atalanta's Bow works really well with Arachne too. Just lets you, once you get 1 kill assist, you're just able to easily get a quadra just moving through the targets. But this one is a more, hey, I don't mind not being super defensive. I'm just gonna kill you before they kill me, type thing. That's all that would work. Again, normal actives would be like this and this. Though now, let me show you what you can do with this build specifically. Let's see, let's get Enhanced Fire Giant going. There we go. Enhanced Fire Giant going. So we're going to go and just try to solo you. Serrated Edge, keeping me alive, back up. Forget that, go this. Oops, I got hit by that. Serrated Edge activated again. Heal up, keep Serrated Edge activated. SI acting and keep me alive. Boom. I just soloed a Fire Giant at 30 minutes with my full build. It took like about a minute, maybe no, less than a minute, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds to solo it. But yeah, Arachne can solo Fire Giant with this build because you're just constantly healing yourself, and that Serrated Edge is just giving you so much more basic attack power. It's stupid. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the new items and my recommended Arachne build for once this patch goes live. You guys will definitely enjoy this a bit. Definitely helps a lot of Arachne's issues. She's going to be quite a good god to play. We'll see how if they nerf. I can see them making Serrated Edge a bit more expensive. It honestly should be a little more expensive. Maybe 100 gold, 200 gold more should work well for it. I think 100 gold would work better. Berserker Shield's fine. I don't think that needs any adjustments. There have been people have been talking about Golden Blade nerfs because it's just so good right now. I think maybe just I like how it is, honestly. I think people are overbuying it when they don't really need to. Arachne needs it, or like almost needs it. It just works really well on her. But yeah, that's the build I like a lot. You're going to shred any god in the game. You're going to shred any objective in the game. You're not going to die as long as they're not building too much anti-healing, which a lot of people do build a lot of anti-healing. So yeah, your results may vary if they're building a lot of anti-healing, but you can still do pretty good. Especially if you're 1v1ing someone that only has one anti-healing item, you'll still outperform them because if you're one and your massive amount of lifesteal you get once you're low health, you'll just instantly undo anything they're doing, even if they have like a brawlers or something. It's when you get into team fights when you have near 100% anti-healing going on is when you're going to feel it a bit more. But you still should be able to get the kills when you need to get the kills with this build. Anyway, thank you all guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try to get more videos up of this game and maybe some others in the future. I really want to get more into doing the videos and stuff, especially with what's been going on. I feel like it's a good time to jump into more content creation and stuff. And yeah, hope you guys had fun and learned something. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. And have a nice day. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.